So you get the idea of stating the problem, saying why it's a problem, and what you're asking him to do to change it, and then you're asking the question, will you do this? Second point, be respectful. Ugh, sometimes this is so hard, right? Because you're hurt. You are hurt. Sometimes it's kind of hard to get past your hurt to be respectful. And this is where you need to take a deep breath and ask God to help you with your words, your body language, your tone of voice, your eye rolling, all of that stuff that we tend to do. Ephesians 5:33 is a key verse that we teach here, which just says, the wife must respect her husband. So this applies even during a confrontation. And keep in mind that your husband is not your enemy. He is not your enemy. Satan is our enemy. He would like to kill off your marriage. He would love to kill your marriage. He would love to influence your husband to do things that destroy your heart. Satan is the enemy. Your husband is not the enemy. Satan would also like to tempt you to be a shrew, right? To be really a mean, cold, bitter, criticizer, drippy roof kind of woman, right? Yeah. Right? So don't fall into that trap either, because that's his plan to take you down, to kill your marriage that way, right? Mm-hmm. So the right way is to be respectful and loving as you're establishing boundaries with your husband. Don't yell at him. Don't roll your eyes. Don't say, don't do all that stuff, because that's just going to make him feel like he's a little 2-year-old and you're scolding him. Don't look at him in disgust. Women, oh, we have the look, right? That conveys that you disgust me. We have that perfected. Yeah, it's kind of passive aggressive, isn't it? Or maybe just mostly aggressive, I don't know. So treat him like you would want to be talked to if you were out of line. Because which one of us, really wants someone to talk to us like that? If we've been caught doing something wrong, we don't appreciate that. You want someone who is for you, who still loves you, and wants to work with you to overcome this problem. So talk to him in that way. Number 3, kind of along the same line, encourage your husband during this conversation. And you might not know this, but most men are actually terribly insecure. Raul, talks to men all the time, right? And he says that most men will never tell their wives this, but most men, I think he's actually used the word all men, if I'm not mistaken, feel like complete failures, and they're hoping no one finds out. That's what he says most men feel like. They feel like complete failures, and they're hoping no one finds out, especially their wife. Well, when their wife finds out, what does that do to a man who already feels like a failure? He feels like he is just a complete loser. So at this point, even though he's been doing something obviously wrong, or you wouldn't have to confront him, encourage him. He is not your enemy. If you can talk in a way that says, we are going to work on this together. I want our marriage to succeed. I love you. How can I help you? We're in this together. Let's work on this together. Now it doesn't feel like it's this adversarial role, and it's like, you're the victim and he's the enemy, and you know what I mean? So if you can encourage him, point out some of his good qualities. He has some. I know in my first marriage, when someone told me to do that, I was like, no, he doesn't. I can't think of a single thing. I was convinced there wasn't a single thing. There were a couple things. Maybe not in abundance, but there were a couple of things. And, encourage him. If he can get a little shred of encouragement, it might give him enough oomph to actually work on what you're asking for, right? Otherwise, he might just say, you know what, she already hates me, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. That's kind of like the easier way out, right? But if you can encourage him, I see good things in you. You're a hard worker, or you're good with the children, or you're whatever, you work out and take care of yourself. You don't come home drunk every night. Whatever the thing is that you can encourage him, do that.